Hi guys, and welcome back to the last of the flies you must have in your fly box tutorials. It's been a great wee series. I've enjoyed doing it. They've not been about fancy flies, they've been about flies that catch fish, and this one's no different today. I haven't saved the best for last, so to speak, but it is damn decent. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook and the vise is a Hanak H260 barbless hook. This one's at size 8, it's finished in black nickel and it's on a heavy wire. Now the thread I'm going to be using to tie this fly is from Simplify. It's nano silk at 50 denier. As you can see, it's white. Now as always, we're going to get a spot of super glue just onto the shank. It doesn't need to be gallons of the stuff, just a small spot which I'm going to use my thread to spread up and down the shank. And I'll get a bed of silk down onto the shank. Now if you've followed the channel for some time, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the boobies, and they've kind of gone out of fashion a little bit, and I think the reason for that is twofold. The fab came along, which is the foam arched blob, and it seems to have overtaken the booby in popularity. But the other reason, of course, is what anglers were doing at some fisheries. They were casting out their heavy sink lines on short leaders and just leaving them to ledger, so to speak. So the sparkle I'm going to use for this fly today is from Uphaven. It's the Rutland Original Mix, and I've got some of the shank here in my hand. I'm just going to take off probably a small amount, not much. Now with that, especially at catch and release fisheries, if you've left your fly line unattended, a fish is more than likely going to swallow your booby deep. And obviously if you're catch and kill, it's not so much of a problem, but if you're releasing fish and you've hooked it very, very deep, then there's a good chance that fish will not survive being put back into the water. So a lot of fisheries, especially in Scotland, actually have banned them, which is a real shame. But I would say anglers have brought it on themselves. So I've got my tail tied in. I want this fly to be competition legal. You don't have to have it competition legal. You can have a much longer tail if you like, and it is very effective. But I'm going to use this in competition, so I'm going to cut the tail down, and I'll just get that off my hand. Now, Sparkler boobies come in many guises. There's the abortion booby that you might be aware of, which is a black body. Now, the variation I'm tying, I call it Tug's variation, and Tug Lawson was a good friend and a stalwart of the Army Angling Federation, and he came up with a sparkler fly. It didn't have booby eyes and stuff, it was just as I'm going to tie it, and I'll tell you at the point where Tug's finished and the booby came about. But the body I'm using is ice chenille. It's 8mm, it's from Simplify, and it's the olive flavour. So what I've done is I've stripped off some of the core there, and I'm going to catch that in on my side. I'll take it all the way back to where I want my body to start, and then I'm going to park my thread a good 4mm up. Now I've got my ramekin dish as always just off to the side here. What I want to do is just get that fritz wetted down. Just makes it easier should I say, to handle. Now each turn I'm sweeping back the fritz, like so. We'll come all the way up the body. Now sparkler boobies are particularly effective in the early part of the season. Early and late season I find sparkler boobies work well, and they work particularly well on bright days. So if you've got the sun high in the sky and the water's pretty clear you're fishing, what happens is this fly, the booby eyes will cause a disturbance in the surface as you're pulling it, and as it sinks down through the water column, obviously the sparkle off of the the flash that I'm using for the tail and wing here glints in the water and gives it a very lifelike appearance. So how would I tackle up to fish this? I do like to fish them on sinking lines, I must admit. If the fish are sitting a little deeper, then this is one of the flies that I would possibly reach for in that event. So I've got the body in place. What I want to do next is just get some wax onto my thread. This is just to help grip the material, and again we're going to come back to our tinsel here. It's really limp, this in the hand, it feels limp. The original fly and the stuff that you'd get out of Rutland, it was like a crinkle flash, if you like. Now this time when I select, I'm not going to take as much material because I'm going to double it over. So I'll take out probably, I'm looking at about 2.5 inches here of material. I'm going to snip that at the end. And I know that in the comments there'll be some question to, should you cut it straight? And I've tried tapering it and messing about with it a good deal, and it doesn't seem to make a jot of difference, if I'm honest. So yeah, just to head off any comments about tapering the sparkle material, hasn't made any difference for me. Okay, so I've tied that in. Obviously I've got this long section coming off the front here. Now all I'm going to do is grab that front section. I'm going to pull over the top, which does make it rather thick at the bottom here. That is one thing, but we are going to cover that up. So I'll get onto that material, and again I'm going to just tidy up the front here, make a good bed area where I can tie my eyes in. Grab my wing. I want it finishing about 1 millimetre or 2 past the tail, like so. And that's looking not too bad. I'll just damp my fingers down again and we'll get that slicked back out of the way. Okay, so at this point the thread Tug used was black. He would finish it off with a black head, and it was super effective for 1 inter service, as I recall. One of the very, very few that we won actually back in the day. The RAF dominated the scene at that time, but Tug tied this up, and we all tied similar, and we did extremely well and pipped the RAF that year. It was a rare thing, not so much nowadays. Apologies to any RAF folks watching. So next then we're going to tie in our booby eyes. I have my TicToc here. If you're unsure how I get to this stage, I'll stick a link in the top right hand corner of the video for you to see how I make my booby eyes almost perfect. And while you look at that video, you might well give this video a like and help me out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing it. It is free. One of my very good friends, who I'll never forgive, said to me, "I'm not paying to watch you, I see you every other week." And I did explain to him that actually it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. It just helps me out as a creator. So I'm going to wrap up my booby eyes, get a little bit more thread, and I go over this about 6 times. I don't really have a set number, but 6 is as good as out. And then I'll pull it round, excuse my fingers, and I'm going to come same amount of wraps-ish with the other eye, and this just holds them square to the shank of the hook. That's looking not too bad. This might well get a swim very, very shortly. So I've caught that in, I've whip finished, Now to finish off the booby eyes, I've got myself a cocktail stick here. I'm going to grab my super glue. I used to just use the nozzle actually to apply super glue, but I find this is much more accurate, and I can get the cocktail stick right in about my thread wraps, which will secure that in place. And then get another little bit of super glue, and I'm going to do the wraps that I have on the bottom. And that, my friends, is a job well done. I hope you enjoyed that. I would urge you to give this fly pattern a go, and we'll see what next week brings in regards to the fly tying tutorials. I'm thinking that I've neglected rivers quite a bit, and I should really be tying some river flies up for the coming season. A lot of my fishing does concentrate on the loch style early season until it heats up and you can no longer go loch style fishing because there's no water in the reservoirs or the fish are in a sulky mood. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you have, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hi folks.